Hello again from Digicool Things. It's part 4 of my CreatiVision recreation project. This part reflects the culmination of my RetroChallenge 2024 October project efforts. The progress and milestones of my CreatiVision keyboard creation have already been documented via my regular update posts on my RetroChallenge blog. Therefore, this part 4 is really to document project completion, with the assembly of the first CreatiVision keyboard and its subsequent final testing. We're also effectively celebrating the completion of my overall CreatiVision recreation project, which started with part 1 of this series. So, on my workbench you can see all of the components necessary for assembling a CreatiVision keyboard. To start with, I'll assemble the electronic components onto the keyboard PCB. First, a couple of points here. Firstly, I'm not using an IC socket for the AVR microcontroller, as I want the IC to be as low profile on the PCB as possible. Secondly, the two TO92 packaged MOSFETs will be mounted lying flat, with the leads bent 90 degrees, for the same reason, to be as low profile on the PCB as possible. Likewise, I have specified right angle headers for the programmer connection and for the PS2 interface connection, to keep them low profile as well. If you choose to, the headers could instead be mounted on the back of the PCB, if this would result in easier connections. What you choose to do may be decided by how you intend to mount your keyboard. So, let's get the components mounted on the PCB and have a look at the finished result. And here is the result. Note how I've chosen to mount the different components. You can see the MOSFETs are mounted flat, bent at a right angle, and I actually chose to mount the right angle headers on the underside of the board. You can see everything is labelled, so it doesn't really matter whether you put it underneath or on the top of the board. Okay, now before proceeding further, I'll first connect my PIC5 programmer to the UPDI header connection and program the AVR controller. Now, if you obtained a kit set from my Tindie Store, the AVR microcontroller is already programmed, so you won't need to take the step yourself. So let's get that done. Okay, we're programmed. Now, the next step is to mount the 48 key switches on the keyboard plate. Each switch just snaps into place. So let's do that. Now, while doing this, we also ensure that all the key switch pins are nice and straight. Any bent pins should be carefully straightened. Right, half done. that's all done. Let's just check the pins are straight. Okay, with all the key switches mounted on the keyboard plate and the pins all hopefully straight, the PCB should just drop into place. Let's give that a try. Right, with the PCB in place, I think it's now time to get the switches soldered. So I'll go and do that now. Okay, the keyboard is all now soldered. Let's have a look underneath. So I think I'll now screw in the 8 PCB standoffs. Then my keyboard should sit nicely on the desktop. So let's get that done. Nice. So all we need to do now is to pop on the keycaps to complete our CreatiVision keyboard, replicating the layout of the original CreatiVision moving key keyboard accessory. So let's get that done. Right, our keyboard is now fully assembled and ready to go. Now I could connect up a PS2 keyboard cable, but for my purposes I'm going to just use some jumper leads to hook up the keyboard's PS2 connector header directly to the PS2 header on our CreatiVision Controller PCB. So let's get that done. Use the red wire for the positive connection. And here's our controller PCB. And we're all hooked up. So I'll hook up the controller PCB to my CreatiVision recreation. And I'll turn on the monitor and let's turn on. Now that's a controller diagnostic like we saw in the previous video. So let's give the keyboard a try. Key 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, colon minus, Q, W, E, R, T, Y, U, I, O, P, return, control, A, S, D, F, G, H, J, K, L, semicolon, left arrow, right arrow, shift, Z, X, C, V, B, N, M, comma, dot, slash, and space. So the only problem I've found so far is the arrow keys appear to be giving 4 and 6. So I have to look at that. So as soon as I looked at the code, it suddenly occurred to me, of course, 4 and 6 are the numeric keypad left and right arrow keys on a PS2 keyboard. So I'd simply forgotten to flag these two keys as extended key codes. So I'll fix that in the software. I'll just hook up my Picket 5 program again and we'll get the new software loaded. Let's do that now and we should be done. Let's give it another try. Let's restart the CreatiVision controller. And we have a left arrow and a right arrow. So let's try that one more time. And we're good. I thought I'd also flip over to Basic. So that's the CreatiVision 1983 Basic. Just to show you shift in operation. So there's the 1 key and shift 1 is exclamation mark. And I've got quotes, hash, dollar, percentage and single quote, open bracket, close bracket, commercial at, asterisk and equals. Without the shift key we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, colon, minus. And I'll hit return. Also got comma, dot and slash, and shift is less than, greater than, question mark, and semicolon, and shift is plus. All good. It's working. Much better than using the original controllers as a keyboard, and also much better than using an old PS2 keyboard, as we now have just the expected 48 keys of the CreatiVision keyboard, with their correct layout and key legends. Well, that's it. I'm now happy to call my CreatiVision recreation project complete. I'm also happy that this project not only resulted in a full hardware replication of a real CreatiVision, it also provided the option of a replacement controller interface and keyboard for real CreatiVision consoles. If you'd like to play with your own CreatiVision system, either as a recreation or to supplement an original CreatiVision console with improved controllers and a mechanical keyboard, then be sure to visit my Tindie Store to check out the kit set options. That's it. Thanks for watching.